to Tammy and Friends. Oh my goodness. I wish all of you were my neighbor, as you know, but let me tell you, today I am so excited because I love to introduce you to people that I think you would love to get to know. Some of you may not know, but I've been a faithful fruit cake fan in my family all my life. My family grins ear to ear. My friends frown, but let me tell you, when you taste a Collin Street Bakery fruitcake, that frown will turn upside down. It's a fruitcake frenzy. That's right, Thomas. It's a fruitcake frenzy today with Thomas McNutt, Executive Vice President of Collin Street Bakery. It's a jewel found deep in the heart of Texas, and it's the oldest U.S. bakery, a U.S.-based bakery of fruit and nut cakes. They've been baking up bountiful batches for over 125 years. That's a long time. And it's all in their super secret blend that makes everything absolutely taste awesome. And with a cup of coffee, oh man. Thomas, I am so glad to have you with me today.
Listen, Tammy, I'm honored to be with you. I'm broadcasting live via satellite from the intergalactic fruitcake headquarters of the universe here in Corsicana, Texas. So Merry Christmas, Tammy.
Merry Christmas. And I have been in that fruitcake factory several times because as a speaker, I drive through there a lot. Yes. But Lindale is the closest one to me.
Girl.
Tell me, Thomas, how did Collin Street Bakery begin?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I can tell you what the legend says, and the legend is correct. So this is our 126th year as a family-owned, small-town Texas business. I'm very, very blessed, very proud to represent the fourth generation of owner-operators here at the Collin Street Bakery in Corsicana, Texas. And so in 1896 is when we were founded. Corsicana, Texas is an interesting, cool history town in the sense that the first oil well in the history of Earth was drilled in the state of Pennsylvania. But the first oil well not drilled in the state of Pennsylvania was drilled in Corsicana, Texas. And so at one time, Corsicana, Texas was the wealthiest per capita city in the state of Texas. And as such, there was a railroad stop here, and there was a German immigrant baker. He was a classically trained European baker. Got off the train in Corsicana, Texas. Had he got off the train in Waxahachie, might have had a different history, but he got off the train in the wealthiest per capita city in the state of Texas. And he got a job at the local cafe and did some cooking and a little bit of baking. And so he had a very high-end clientele, as was true in the town in general. And one of the clientele said, "Hey, Gus, you're a really good baker. Corsicana doesn't have a bakery. You should open up a bakery." He said, "I don't have the money to do it." He said, "Well, you do now. I'm going to be your investor." So they built the first Collin Street Bakery. And on the second story of the Collin Street Bakery was a little boutique hotel. So there's the Collin Street Bakery on the first floor, hotel on the second floor. Well, because it was such a wealthy town, all these entertainers would come to town, Tammy, because they knew that they could sell out, right? They knew they could sell out tickets, including Ringling Brothers Circus. And so Mr. Ringling stayed at the Collin Street Bakery Hotel. So Mr. Ringling woke up one morning, had this wonderful aroma and said, "What is that?" "Well, that's our famous fruitcakes, sir. Let me try those." He tries them and he says, "These are amazing." He said, "I want to take them on the road with me." So he buys up a bunch, and then he would give them out as gifts to people all over the world as he traveled. And he would write to the Collin Street Bakery, "Hey, can you mail me some more of those fruitcakes?" Mail order fruitcake, Tammy, started with Mr. Ringling Brothers Circus writing letters to the Collin Street Bakery.
That is great. And you know, I can see everything going on behind you, and I can see that display case with all that awesome stuff. Some people may think that all you have is fruitcake, but there's a whole lot more to Collin Street than fruitcake. But I first want to say this. I was scrolling through Facebook just a moment ago, and it was talking. You're from Texas when it's a site for Texans. And they said, "Has anybody bought fruitcake yet?" Well, there's 200 and something comments, but Judy Harris says, I know there's a lot of jokes about fruitcake, but Collin Street Bakery fruitcake is delicious. And anyone who doesn't like theirs, just send it to me. And then all these people are saying, best fruitcake ever. My mom gave me one as a present. I got one. I like this. I got one a few weeks ago when they hit the grocery store because I missed out last year. Sorry to say, it didn't have a chance to make it to Christmas. Over and over and over, they're talking about how awesome the fruitcake is. So tell me, Thomas, what makes y'all's fruitcake better than anybody else's?
So a couple different things. First off, it's a recipe that's over 100 years old. It's top secret. Okay. The second very, very important thing. So our recipe's phenomenal and we stayed true to it. Okay. You'll talk to, the fruitcake world's pretty small, and I'll talk to other fruitcake bakeries, around the world, around the country. And there are a lot of wonderful families who are in the fruitcake business, but we handle it a little differently. You'll talk to some of those other fruitcake bakeries, and they'll do things like this. You'll say, hey, Mr. Such and Such, other fruitcake company, what nuts do you have in your cake? And they'll say, I don't know, year to year, we just go and see what the cheapest nuts are, and that's what we buy, What fruits do you have? Oh, heck, I don't know. We just go on the fruit market. We just see what the cheapest glacé fruits are. We just, Thomas, it changes year to year. It's just a game. And that's a foreign concept to us. We have our exact specs for the exact same ingredients, and we do not alter. And if we do alter, typically it's because we're forced to because of a supplier issue. And we go through crazy amounts of standard testings to make sure, is this the cherry we want to switch to, right? We founded, Tammy, the largest organic farm on planet Earth to grow the pineapples that we put in our cakes. We founded, Tammy, the largest pecan shelling factory on planet Earth here in Corsicana, so that we could get fresh shelled pecans literally delivered to us every day of production if we needed it. Because a lot of people don't know this, a fresh shelled pecan is going to have a lot more of the original pecan oils and flavors in it than a pecan that's been shelled and sitting in inventory for who knows how long by the time it gets to whatever bakery's buying them. So we just said, we're going to have our own shelling factory. So one of the secrets, and I think it's okay to tell you this one, is that our pecans have been out of the shell for the least amount of time of any fruitcake that you're going to find out there.
I love that.
So those are a couple of the secrets I can tell you. The farm that we founded to grow our own pineapple, the pecan shelling, the recipe, the high ingredients. That's more than you wanted to hear. I'll shut up.
You know what? That's not more than I want to hear. That's why I love your fruitcake. And so many people talk about how fresh it is, warm it up, have a cup of coffee with it and all that. Now, when I say so many people, how many of those do y'all send out at this time of year?
So great question. So we sell every single year in all 50 states. And we have sold in almost 200 countries around the world.
Wow.
And every year we will ship to and sell in over 100 countries every year. And though production kind of varies from year to year, we produce over 1 million pounds of cake every single year. 90+% of that is in the last few weeks of the calendar year, right before Christmas.
I love that. I love it. And fruitcake is something that I've always loved. Tell me who else loves your fruitcake that everybody knows.
Well, listen, I cannot confirm nor deny if we sent a cake. We sent cakes to Mr. Chuck Norris the other day.
Oh.
That just comes to mind. I'm trying to, multiple U.S. presidents, both President Bush's are big customers of ours. And speaking of which, I'll tell you a quick story. The White House pastry chef under 5 U.S. presidents was a gentleman named Roland Mincinier. And Roland served from Jimmy Carter all the way to George W. Bush, the son, okay? 5 U.S. presidents. There's an article in the Wall Street Journal saying the White House pastry chef under 5 presidents is retiring. So we wrote him a letter and we said, hey, Roland, you don't know us. We're the Collin Street Bakery. If you ever get bored in retirement, why don't you come work with us in Corsicana? Well, he got bored and he did. And Roland came and joined our team at Collin Street Bakery. And he rolled out our presidential pastry line, where you could order the favorite dessert of each of the 5 U.S. presidents. And there are two, in a lot of our recipes that we have today, beyond our deluxe fruitcake recipe, the White House pastry chef, Roland, actually developed those recipes with us. And that's one of the reasons they're so amazing. 2 notable ones that I'll say that you can get today. If you come to one of our stores, our banana nut bread, our banana nut loaf, comes in a loaf. That was one of the U.S. president's favorite desserts. And it is out of this stinking world good. It's the best banana nut loaf you will ever have. And then the second one is our Roland's pumpkin cake. It's something you can get on our website or in our stores. And whether it's our pumpkin loaf, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin cupcakes, or our pumpkin cake, all that was the favorite dessert of Ronald Reagan. And so you can get that here. So anyway, I could talk all day, Tammy, but I hope that answers your question.
You know what? That more than answered my question, and that confirms why so many people love Collin Street Bakery. Well, tell me, if somebody wants to order your fruitcake, now tell me the website, and then how many locations do you have again?
So we have 4 locations. We're in three different Texas counties, 4 locations. All of them are on a Texas highway. Okay. So I'm here at our Interstate 45 location between Dallas and Houston. We have an Interstate 35 location between Dallas and Austin in Waco, Texas. We've got a location between Dallas and Shreveport on Interstate 20 in Lindale, Texas, which you already mentioned, right? Close to Thailand. And then our original factory has a location out front, and that's on Texas Highway 31 between Tyler and Waco in downtown Corsicana. But collinstreet.com, Tammy, collinstreet.com is where you go to get any of our mail order items. Also, Amazon Prime. We're on Amazon Prime. You can still get a cake by Christmas on our website, or you can go to Amazon Prime. The Amazon doesn't have quite as many offerings. Our website's going to have way more. Our store's going to have even more of that. And then your local supermarket, there's a chance that they have Collin Street fruitcake, but it's probably just going to be your original deluxe. Okay.
Yeah.
You won't have the variety and maybe not as good of a price.
Now that's a good point right there. That's a good point. They should come to Collin Street Bakery in order to get the best price, right?
Correct. Yes. Especially our stores. Anytime we do something special, that's the first place it happens. Second would be our website.
All right. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to tell all of our listeners today?
Tammy, I got a big announcement that I held to announce on your show.
Do it, my friend.
Are you ready? Well, a lot of people know that we got a lot of cookie flavors. We got more cookie flavors than Baskin Robbins has ice cream. Okay. Don't fact check me on that, because I haven't fact checked it. But we have a lot of wonderful cookie flavors. You get fresh baked cookies here in our stores. However, for the first time in history, don't only do you have to buy them here baked at our stores, but we now have our line of take home and bake cookie dough, where you bake cherry icebox cookies at your house.
My husband's going to be excited about that. He loves that cookie.
It's big, and you can also find this at a Brookshire's near you. That's the first supermarket chain that we're testing in, is Brookshire's. And then you can find our fresh baked cookies at Brookshire Brothers. But that's my big announcement. And also, for the first time in years, our strawberry fruitcake is out for a limited time only for Valentine's Day. This was my groom's cake when I got married, but it was like this big.
Oh, wonderful. And somebody asked me one time, they said, do they make gluten-free cake? Do y'all make gluten-free?
Only Collin Street Bakery, to my knowledge, makes a gluten-free fruitcake, and it comes pre-sliced as well. So yes, we absolutely gluten-free cakes, and they come pre-sliced. And I know no one.
All right. Well, you know what? It has been a joy to talk to you. And Thomas, I just want to tell you Merry Christmas. Thank you for making so many dinner tables at Christmas time. Just absolutely have an abundance of joy just because there's a Collin Street Bakery fruitcake there.
Well, Tammy, you bless us, and I hope the Lord blesses you and your family this Christmas. And the reason we exist is to bond friends and family across generations. That's why we do what we do. And God blesses us with the opportunity to do that through our good bakery goodies. So thank you, Tammy.
You are very welcome. I hope that you are blessed beyond belief this coming weekend when you celebrate with your family. Thank you so much, Thomas, for being with us today.
You bet. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.